All right, we're gonna go ahead and do the ultimate test, the real test.
The real deal.
With we got a little bit of some walk art here.
Yeah.
Open your mind to witness a phenomenon, estilo diferente that can never be compared to none. Pollo frito con tortillas de harina. Always stay cooking, the studio is my cocina. No mercy when it comes to this music. Everybody say they wreck, well they gonna have to prove it. Bittersweet cause there's no sugar added. Invested in some chairs cause these bottles couldn't stand me. Punchlines like celebrities with Perico. A 16-ball verse the equivalent of a kilo. Dropping EP cause my albums were too lethal.
Alright, we're gonna go ahead and do the ultimate test, the real test.
The real deal.
With we got a little bit of some walk art here.
Yeah.
This is the new that's the new label that they have right now. The new one that they have. So it's not, to me it doesn't taste like the other ones that we had previous. You know what I'm saying? All these new people that are trying to drink now is they will never know the flavor
the real deal
of the Alfama and the high tech, man. You know what I'm saying? This one doesn't. They say it does, but to me it's not nowhere near the.
You've been using the game doing it, you know?
Yeah. It's nothing close to it. So I'll try it with something.
I'm not gonna do too crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because I still gotta drive. You know?
Yeah, you'll be all right.
See, I take his word for it because he knows, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
plus I'm a big boy.
Yeah. We'll pour a little bit. Now this is how I do it. I don't measure. I just wet the ice. We just wet the ice. You know what I'm saying? We just wet the ice. See that? Just wet the ice. Just wet the ice. That'd be good for you because you gotta drive, right?
Yeah.
It's just for a test. It's just for a taste test. So.
Yeah. So y'all know that we ain't bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Got the walk hard. So I'm gonna try mine with the cotton candy. I'm gonna go with the original DJ screw.
And I'm gonna go ahead and do the OG Bum B.
So you kind of want you don't want to let it fizzle up. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of just want to tilt the cup, at an angle, and you know what I'm saying. So you won't lose the fizzle of the soda. I'm gonna pour a little bit more soda so I can sip a little longer, you know?
Yeah, that's all good. But how much is good?
Yeah, half is good. Half is good.
Yeah, because everybody's got a different way of mixing. Because I see people. I see people do it in 2 liters and go back and up and down. And
exactly. So we don't have a. Usually I have a spoon. You know, kind of tear it. But I just want to we'll leave it at the bottom for now.
Okay.
And we'll see. You know, usually, we'll get a 20 ounce and we'll pour an ace or a deuce and then we'll kind of just tilt it and just mix it and then we just pour it in your.
And my soda looks darker too.
Yeah. You pour it into your ice cup. It's already like a pre-mix for you, so.
Is there a specific type of ice y'all like to use?
A lot of people like the crushed ice, you know what I'm saying? And that's the best one, but you can find it, but if not, we just try to whatever we can. So
we'll see. It's been a long time for me, so.
Man.
Oh wow, bro. That shit just highlights it like hardcore.
It's just like, man.
That's trip, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's been years, and when I tried it, I didn't know what they were like. It was already pre-poured and everything, so I don't know how much was in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, man.
It just gives it. Man, it's weird, man. You know, it's not weird, but it's like a miracle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The taste, like the combination of the taste. When
I'm gonna pour a little bit more.
You know what I'm saying? I see why it's so popular, like not just in Texas and how it just blew up. You know what I'm saying? And it was just because.
And this was like originated by DJ Screw.
Mm-hmm. So, we could
Oh wow!
You taste it?
I taste it, man. It tastes real good. It tastes completely different from the soda by itself.
Mm-hmm.
It really highlights it and brings the flavor out a lot more.
It does, man. So, the exotic spot.
I appreciate you sipping with me, dog.
Yeah, man, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? When you hit me up, we do this episode, I said, yeah, let's do it, man. I gotta do it. You know, I kind of just, you know what I'm saying, it's just gotten so expensive, you know what I'm saying? A lot of it is people want to like tax real bad on it, so
because the demand for it's high, because everybody in the music industry is sipping it.
Yeah, and so it's like it's in demand, so you know, and so it's like.
Oh man, this is bad.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna take my time with this, you know what I'm saying? Because
we still got some questions, okay? I'm gonna get those to you in a minute. We'll do the questions while we sip. Now, while we sipping, we're gonna do a little bit of like kind of like an interview, and I'm doing it from a fan's point of view. Because before anything, man, I'm a fan of underground music and the Valley scene in general. Now, a lot of y'all may not know, but NINO was not always a solo artist. You have Click, Lockjaw Click. You know, y'all did that before you did anything solo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How did the transition from like Lockjaw Click to doing your first solo album, come about?
You know what I'm saying? When Lockjaw Click first started, man, I was just the producer, man. I was just making the beats,
That's where the beat came.
Yeah, that's where that comes from. You know, I would make the beats and then slowly it was like, hey, we need a verse. We need a verse here. We need a verse there. So then I started writing. You know what I'm saying? Like Noe and Q and all them. They were already like before that. You know what I'm saying? They were already working with Big Tim and they were already freestyling. I didn't know nothing about freestyling. I've never been a freestyler. You know what I'm saying? I could do it for a little bit, but I can't go on like a whole song.
Because there's some beast.
Yeah. So it's like I was always the producer. So like to me, like being an artist and writing came with like it was just like, do we need it? So it was like, okay, so I started writing, trying to figure out how to do things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my first songs, I hear them now, like hell no, I ain't gonna put that shit out. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not gonna put that out. And so it just started getting more experience, and then just learning how to compose a song and the verse, and then the hook. Because I've always been like, since I was young, it was like I was always into rock. You know what I'm saying? I was always into like what the music was evolving to. You know what I'm saying? It was rock, and then it would start being just all this type of different music. And then,
just the evolution of music.
Yeah, and Cypress Hill came out, and all these. You know what I'm saying? And just so I would always listen, and of course Spanish music, Tejanos, but just all the type. Just rhythm. So rhythm was always in my head. So that's why when I picked up a keyboard, it was just like. It was natural to me. I don't know how to play the keys. I don't know how to do it. It was just all sounds, So our first 3-4 albums, man, that we released on the Lockjaw Click, I produced most of them. Most of the beats. And then I started writing slowly. So then, when it was I went to prison and I came back out. We released one more album. I think it was the Lockjaw, the Texas Dream Team.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like I'm just gonna do. It was nothing like personal, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, I'm gonna try to do a solo album. It was just nothing. So I did it, and we recorded it at with Mario Bailey at Big Low Studio with McDowell Nagel in Brownsville. And the recording was just like, they pushed you, man. You know what I'm saying? Mario and Chino and them, they really push you when they hear something that needs work. They're gonna tell you straight up, like, no man, like redo it.
Yeah, because I've heard stories about the process and how they do songs, like they're real particular.
They're real particular, man, like real, and it helps an artist out. It helps the development of it. They're not just gonna let you put out something that's trash or something that don't sound right. They're gonna tell you to go back and write it again. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time I was recording, I don't know if it was Sueños or some song. It was for a Big Low album, and I did that whole like 30 times, bro. I was already like, bro, like fuck this shit, like dude, fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even do this shit, like dude, this is the way I write it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't understand like what they were trying to do because I had never had that.
Like that push.
I had never had that. That was my first time experiencing that. You know what I'm saying? And it was, to me, it was like, what the fuck do you mean? What the fuck?
That's because you're around a different environment than your normal environment.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like a different environment. So, but in the end, when it came out, like, bro,
you understood why.
Now I understand what they were trying to hear, what they were trying to get out of me.
Yeah.
they saw something that
You didn't see.
I didn't see. So pushing me is like, no, this is how you have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
They weren't doing it to be assholes.
Assholes. They were doing it for professionalism, for the sound.
Because
so,
that wasn't your song, that was their song.
It was their song, yeah. So I think like nowadays, if artists had that, or engineers would push that a little bit more, and artists, instead of just pressing record, just letting them do whatever. You know what I'm saying? They need an engineer, an engineer needs to be, somebody that knows music and knows if you're not hitting your note right, or if the rhyme's not there, it's not rhyming, bro, go back and rewrite it. You know what I'm saying? It got to rhyme. It has to. It's got to be.
It's got to go a certain way.
Yeah, punchlines. Punchlines got to be right.
Like Fable was like that.
Fable was like that too.
Because when I first went when we did that song for your album, I brought Homegirl in.
Yeah.
And we were there for like an hour just laying down a hook, not even the bridge, just the hook.
Yeah.
And he was telling her, do this, do that, do this. Okay, go back and do this.
Yeah.
That's the first time that I had witnessed something like that outside of my own recording.
Yeah.
So that was
Fable was like that, just like that too, man. And I mean, you call him an asshole, whatever you want, but he's gonna make you sound the way you're supposed to sound, you know.
Shout out to Fable.
Fable's out there, asshole by nature. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy, man. If he was here, I was just texting him the other night, man. He sent me a beat. He sent me a beat. You know, it's we'll get into that right now. But he sent me a beat, man. It was tight, man. I was just like, bro, fuck, man. If you were just here, man, and I don't have to worry about me recording. I could just sit back. I could write. I don't have to worry about recording, mixing, punch me in here. You know, doing that. And man, I probably have 3 more albums right now.
Because I know the type of energy he brings, like makes you want to get on your shit.
Yeah, he does. You know
what I mean? Because like I recorded the year with you guys before, and that's the same thing.
Yeah.
He's like he's pushing every artist. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not favoriting anybody. Like he's pushing everybody to be the best they can be on that song.
Yeah, just like Mario and Chino do. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. And of course, that's where Fabian comes from. You know, Fabian comes from the Brownsville. Yeah. With them, recording with Mario and being around the same us. You know what I mean?
The same environment.
And of course, you gotta have people in the studio with you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I hear by myself and
that's a different
I'm trying to write and like, dude, like fuck, like I can't. So you always need to have somebody with you, bro, interacting, like, you know what I'm saying, like. Because
it creates a different vibe.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, especially if it's somebody that you know will tell you the truth.
Yeah.
They'll critique you on your shit.
They will.
Because if you have someone that's like your yes man, they're gonna say everything you spit is tight.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't need to have that. You need to have someone that's gonna be there, and change this or whatever.
Yeah. And or somebody like, man, that he's like, damn, his verse goes hard. I'm gonna fucking come hard. So you know, it helps you push forward into giving it your skills more, you know,
like
more push and more of what you need to for your songs and your sound to sound right, you know. So engineers, man, don't just press record and steal the artist's money or take the artist's money, man. Like make sure they hitting the notes right, they're rhyming right. And
give them a reason to come back.
Give them a reason to come back and make their money worth it, man. Because they're going out there at the end of the day and the flea markets and they're busting their ass, and then, you know, people are like, man, that shit sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Man, that you don't rap right. You know what I'm saying?
But because people do pay attention to stuff like that.
Yeah, people pay attention to that, man. You know, especially the mixing and the mastering and you know, there's different. You know, I mean, you could engineer, you could record, but you gotta have there's people that produce, there's people that mix, there's people that engineer, there's people that just master. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your songs mastered. You know what I'm saying? You can record, you can get somebody to mix it, do everything you gotta do in your studio, but take your songs, bro, and get them mastered by a masterpiece. Somebody that's qualified and
knows what they're
doing and mastering. Mastering is a totally different step. In the music process, you know what I'm saying?
But that to me goes back to artists wanting to invest in themselves. A lot of people don't do it.
They don't do it, and you need it because the mastering, bro, is like you could put it in every system and it's gonna sound the same. You know what I'm saying? You could put it at the Walmart speakers in the very top. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna sound
the same,
crispy, clear. You're gonna hear everything perfect. So you get, Billy Stoll. I recommend Billy Stoll with Masterpiece Mastering, man, and he's always mastered mine.
That's
albums.
money. That's money right there
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, he masters Big Los' albums, and this man, he's real.
That's all he does.
That's all he does. He created his own analog mastering.
Yeah.
He built it his own. You know what I'm saying? And he's out of Bayview, Texas. And if you need some more info, out just hit me up, or in the comments below we'll add the info for Billy Stoll Masterpiece Masterings.
In the
He's
description.
very good. It's in the description, and I highly recommend Billy Stoll for that.
Which is your favorite solo album that you've done so far? And that's kind of hard because you got some.
I would have to say my favorite solo album is called the Solo Album.
The solo album.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Favorite solo album that I did was called the Solo Album because it was just an album that I wrote, and there was no features. The only feature that was on that album was my son at the outro.
Yeah.
And he just did a little.
So you did all the beats. You did the mixing.
The beats, I leased them.
Yeah.
I leased the beats because I was going through some stuff. It was when the studio had gotten raided, and I was going through a real personal time in my life, man. It was like a real depressed.
It's so
depressing, man. And it was like I didn't want to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do nothing, man. I was facing a lot of time, and I just got in this room, man, right here in this room, bro, and this was on this side, and so I came in here, man, and it was just like
got to work.
I got to work, and I wrote every single song. It was like, I think it was like 15 songs or something like that, and I wrote every verse and every hook. I sung the melodies. I did everything on that album, everything, man. And so, but I never toured with that album. It's like I released it, and it was just I never went anywhere. I just stayed home, and so it was like if I would go out to do shows like tomorrow or the next, I would take that album will be new to my fans, like and
everybody else
touring out there. So it's like if you hear it, man, it's a real personal album. Like people that know what I went through during that time, and they hear that song or that verse, they'll know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just some group, and dude, even to this day I still listen to it, man. And it's like, bro, like the writing of if you really listen to that album, like my lyrics, I trip out, man, because it's like one of my best.
Some of your best like personal work.
It was like like the writing was so personal, and it was just it was
like
real.
It
was
meant something
real.
to you.
That was like a real album. Like, you know, it was real feelings, man. Like it was actually real feelings. So I guess that's what made it different than the other one.
Yeah, because all your other ones, not saying that they're bad or anything, but you had top notch features on it.
Yeah, a lot of the other ones, there was a lot of featuring and a lot of moving around, like
networking,
like
and stuff
networking and like the solo album was first. Like the budget wasn't it didn't cost a lot, you know. The traveling was just here and there, but
that was more of a personal album for you.
Yeah,
it was more for you than it was for the fans.
Yeah, because the Deep in the Game album was like, dude, every feature I had to drive to Houston to Paint Studio, drive back, pay for hotel, pay for food. So all that album was like spent like fucking $80,000 on that fucking album. You know what I'm saying? Like SPM verses and the mixing, the mastering, the traveling, all the features, album work, and
now speaking of all the bread that you put in and all that, would you, like I can't remember, but would you say you're one of the first Valley artists to have SPM on a song, on an album?
Yes.
You were the first one.
Yes.
You see, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't because I don't know if Bigelow's had ever done one with him, because I know Bigelow's does a lot of songs, but he doesn't release a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know if he had done it first or you had done it first. But I remember you coming out with the first SPM feature.
Yes, it was a legit feature. It was under contract, you know what I'm saying?
Paperwork and everything.
It was 10 stacks for that verse.
And which song was it?
Dope Spot.
Dope Spot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's the one with Carolyn on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dope Spot, and then the rest of the other features that were on that album also cost a couple thousand. So it was.
Yeah, because you worked with the whole Dope House, and you work with a whole bunch of other artists, like, you know, Flick for one,
Yeah.
and Bushwick,
Yeah.
and you know, there's a whole bunch of artists you worked with, but so, like for me, SPM stuck out, you know, because to us in the community, that's who we jam.
That's who I grew up. That's who. I was living in Houston in '99, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think I forgot what album he released. It might have been a Third Wish. I don't know what it was, but I was living in Houston at that year. That's where my daughter was born, in Houston. So that's when I picked up and I heard South Park. What the fuck? I was blown away.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And that's what made me want to get into the music. So I came back home after '99 and 2000. I came back home. We had some problems over there, so we just came back home, and that's when my job kick started. 2000. So you know what I'm saying? I started making the beats and then.
So that had to be a personal accomplishment to actually do a song with someone you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It was crazy how it was just like the whole South Park thing happened. Yeah. Whatever happened, and then I started working with Big Los, and then Los had his management, Stella, named Stella. So something happened. I don't know how. I don't remember how it happened, but Sylvia ended up in Portersville. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we were in the middle of everything with Lockjaw, and actually not Lockjaw. It was the NINO, the first NINO album. You know,
the Self-Employed.
The Self-Employed one, yeah.
That one hit the streets.
Yeah,
hard.
Yeah, that one hit hard. Hard, yeah.
Because this is before I knew him.
Yeah.
And I used to go to Chop Shop Records. You know what I'm saying? Down on Jackson to go get my stuff.
Yeah.
And they were always pushing your stuff, but not only that, I was also selling at the flea market.
Yeah.
And I would see Lockjaw, like the Self-Employed shirts.
Yeah, bro.
And everybody was bumping it. Like I would drive around and I could hear it.
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
And that was with like no features on it, right? Like maybe.
Yeah, it was just us. It was just
I think Rashid
was on. Rashid, and Carolyn.
But like for your first album, that shit hit hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This was before digital and all that's like with actual CDs.
Yeah.
And like everywhere you would go, you'd hear it. Like flea markets, you'd hear it because people were selling them. People were bumping them in the shirts. I would see them everywhere. And then when I come down here, I saw it a few times.
Yeah, man.
So that album hit badass for you.
Yeah.
As a first album.
Yeah, man. As a first album, it was a hit. And then, so, long story short, Sylvia ended up here. And then she hooked up with my DJ Rex. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they went to Houston. You know, he went to Houston with Sylvia. And he ended up taking the solo album to Pain. You know what I'm saying? And then Pain sent me back, and Rex was like, "Hey, he wants you in the studio." Carolyn was involved somehow. I don't know how, but she also, you know what I'm saying? She also put a word in for me with Pain. You know what I'm saying? Because I had featured her on the solo album.
On the Self-Employed.
On the Self-Employed, on the Self-Employed album. So you know what I'm saying? But Rex is the one that took my album to Pain, and then.
Make the connection.
Yeah, and then Carolyn kind of, you know what I'm saying, through some words and stuff for me. So next thing you know, fucking, I'm over there recording fucking Deep in the Game.
Yeah, the first
with Pain, with Pain and all that. That's when everything transpired. The SPM, the Bushwick Bill, Bushwick Bill was something for it too, but that's like the beginning of like fucking
the bigger stuff.
Going to the next
the
next level. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's where the SPM came from.
Shit, that's dope as fuck. See, I'm talking about. I may know some of the stuff I'm asking you, but I'm talking. I'm putting it to people that may not know who you are or haven't heard from you in a while, or don't know the answers to these questions.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to like get through the interview thing. Okay, man, it tastes good, man. It's even relaxing me, chilling.
Yeah, you kind of just relax. You just chill. So I mean, the best is at the bottom. You can see the bottom is kind of more dark.
Should I drink all of it?
You drank it already? Hey, pour some more. Pour some more.
No.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. It's up to you.
That's I don't know if it will food affect it if I get any right now.
If you're drinking and you go get something to eat, your body might feel more relaxed. You know, where are you driving to?
To San Ben.
Oh no, mate, you'll be alright.
Sure.
Yeah, you'll be alright. I mean, it's not a lot. You just want to just. Yeah. You should put one in. Go get some more ice.
Yeah, see, if anything, I'll put over some.
Yeah, now you be good.